Chapter 5. Happily for the momentous work which the spiritual telegraphers had undertaken to initiate in this humble dwelling, the first manifestations did not appeal to the high and learned of the earth, but to the plain common sense of an honest farmer's wife, and suggested that whatever could see, hear, and intelligently respond to relevant queries, must have in it something in common with humanity, and thus Mrs. Fox continued her investigations. Addressing the viewless rapper, she said, "Count 10. The raps obeyed. "How old is my daughter Margaret?" "Then Kate?" Both questions were distinctly and correctly rapped out. Mrs. Fox then asked, "How many children have I?" "7, was the reply. This however proved to be wrong, for she had only 6 living. She repeated her question and was again answered by 7 raps. Suddenly she cried, "How many have I living?" 6 raps responded. "How many dead?" A single knock, and both these answers proved correct. To the next question, "Are you a man that knocks?" There was no response, but "Are you a spirit?" elicited firm and distinctive responsive knocks. Emboldened by her success, Mrs. Fox continued her inquiries and ascertained by raps that the messages were coming from what purported to be the spirit of an injured man who had been murdered for his money. To the question how old he was, there came 31 distinct raps. He also gave them to understand that he was a married man, and had left a wife and 5 children, that his wife was dead, and had been dead 2 years. After ascertaining so much, she asked the question, "Will the noise continue if I call in some neighbors?" The answer was by rapping in the affirmative. At first they called in their nearest neighbors, who came thinking they would have a hearty laugh at the family for being frightened, but when the first neighbor came in and found that the noise, whatever it might be, could tell the age of herself as well as others, and give correct answers to questions on matters of which the family of Mr. Fox was quite ignorant, she concluded that there was something beside a subject of ridicule and laughter in these unseen but audible communications. These neighbors insisted on calling others who came, and after investigation were as much confounded as at first. The reader must endeavor to picture to himself the scene which followed the introduction of the neighbors to this weird and most novel court of inquiry. Imagine the place to be an humble cottage in a remote and obscure hamlet, the judge and jurors, simple unsophisticated rustics, and the witness an invisible, unknown being, a denizen of a world of whose very existence mankind has been ignorant. Acting by laws mysterious and inconceivable, in modes utterly beyond all human control or comprehension, and breaking through what has been deemed the dark and eternal seal of death, to reveal the long-hidden mysteries of the grave, and drag to the light secrets which not even the fabled silence of the grave could longer hide away. Those who have been accustomed to dream of death as the end of all, whom its shadowy portals enclose, alone are prepared to appreciate the awful and startling reality of this strange scene, breaking apart, as it did, like a rope of sand, all the preconceived opinions of countless ages on the existence and destiny of the living dead. Those who have become familiar with the revealments of the spirit circle will only smile at the consternation evoked in this rustic party by the now familiar presence and manifestations of the spirits, but to those who still stand in the night of superstition, deeming of all earth's countless millions as dead, lost, gone, no one knows whither, never to return, to give no sign, no echo, no dim vibration from that vast gulf profound of unfathomed mystery, what a picture is that which suddenly brings them face to face with the mighty hosts of the vanished dead, all clothed in life, and girded round with a panoply of power, and light, and strength, with vivid memory of the secret wrongs deemed buried in their graves. Our cities are thronged with an unseen people who flit about us, their piercing eyes invisible to us, are scanning all our ways. The universe is teeming with them, there are no dead, the air, the earth, and the sky above, are filled with a viewless host of spirit, witnesses whose messages ever declare there is no death.